short moral stories are best for children who have been reading for generations. These short stories with morals are popular in different languages and parts of the world. A moral story depicts practical situations excitingly and carries a message that imbibes moral values in the children. Different short moral stories teach different lessons to kids. The stories also make children responsible. Here we will briefly describe 5 very short stories with morals that guide kids with some values and principles. Here is a collection of 5 lines of short stories with morals for kids in English. Read these very short stories for kids with morals, which they enjoy hearing and learn valuable lessons for free. Once upon a time, a farmer had a goose that laid a golden egg every day. The farmer used to sell that egg and earn enough money to meet their family's day-to-day needs. One day, the farmer thought that if he could get more such golden eggs and make a lot of money and become a wealthy person, the farmer decided to cut the goose and remove all the golden eggs from its stomach. As soon as they killed the bird, a shepherd boy in a village used to take his herd of sheep across the fields near the forest. He felt this job was very dull and wanted to have some fun. One day while grazing the sheep, he shouted, "Wolf! Wolf! The wolf is carrying away a lamb." Farmers working in the nearby fields came running for help but didn't find any wolf. The boy laughed and replied, "It was just..." The boy played a similar trick repeatedly for many days. After some days, while the shepherd boy was in the field with the herd of sheep, suddenly a wolf came out from the nearby forest and attacked one of the lambs. The boy was frightened and cried loudly, "Wolf! Wolf! The wolf is carrying a lamb away." The farmers thought the boy was playing mischief again. So
no one paid attention to him and didn't come to his help.
Having a Best Friend by Sheikh Subuhi is one of the best friendship moral stories in English. The story is about 2 friends who were walking through the desert. During the journey, they argued over something, and one friend slapped the other. The one who got slapped was hurt by this gesture of his best friend, but did not react. He quietly wrote in the sand, "Today, my best friend slapped me." After some time, they found an oasis and started taking a bath in the lake. Suddenly, the one who had been slapped started drowning. Then his friend came to his rescue and saved him. After he recovered from the drowning, he engraved, "Today my best friend saved my life," on a stone. The friend who had slapped earlier and later saved his best friend asked, "After I slapped you, you wrote in the sand, and now, as I saved you, you write on a stone. Why?" The other friend replied, "I wrote in on sand because we should not keep the feeling of getting hurt by someone for a long time. But when someone does something good for us, we must remember it forever, like a message engraved on a stone that nothing can erase." Morale: remember the good things that happen in life, not the bad memories. There was a king with only 1 leg and 1 eye, but was generous and competent as a ruler. One day, while walking in his palace, the king noticed the portraits of his ancestors along the hallway. He also wanted his portrait painted by an artist, but was unsure how it would turn out due to his physical abnormalities. The king invited all the painters across the kingdoms and asked who could paint a beautiful picture of him. The painters were confused about how to make a beautiful picture of the king with only 1 leg and 1 eye. All the painters politely refused to make a painting of the king. Then one young painter came forward and ensured to make a beautiful portrait of the king. After a few days, the young painter unveiled the portrait in the court, in which the king was seen sitting on the horse, with one leg visible, holding his bow and aiming the arrow with one eye closed. There was no sign of physical deficiencies in the king in the painting. The king was pleased to see that the painter had creatively presented the king's positive characteristics, but not highlighted the abnormalities. Moral: look at the positive aspects of someone without emphasizing the limitations. A pig found its way into a meadow where a shepherd was grazing a herd of sheep. The shepherd caught the pig and carried him off toward the butcher shop when it started crying loud and struggled to get free. The sheep told the pig, "The shepherd catches us regularly and drags us off like that, and we don't make any noise." The pig replied, "My case and yours are altogether different. He catches and takes you to shave off the wool, but he wants me to be killed for making the bacon." Moral: don't compare two situations without understanding them. Children, from an early age, should develop a strong base of moral values that help them to be good human beings. A moral story must be part of the academic curriculum and parental learning. These learning will have a profound impact on individual lives as well as on society. In the end, we suggest you read at least one new story in English with morals for your kids to teach them good moral values.